Good evening students. Today we will complete here part 6 of chapter 1 and today's topic is digestive gland. So before discussing about today's topic, we will recapitalize the yesterday's part, and yesterday I told you that the nutrients are utilized in a specialized digestive system which is formed of two parts. They are alimentary canal and digestive glands. Okay, so yesterday we had discussed about the alimentary canal and its parts, and today we will discuss about the digestive glands. Okay students, so digestive glands secrete digestive juices which are containing digestive enzymes in it. Okay, digestive juices are secreted by different kinds of digestive glands. So let's take a look about the types of digestive glands. They are salivary glands, gastric glands, liver, pancreas, intestinal glands. So let's know about the salivary glands firstly. So three pairs of salivary glands are found in human beings, or in man you can say. Okay, so students, these secrete saliva which contain digestive enzyme called ptyalin or salivary amylase. So, three pairs of salivary glands are there which secrete saliva that contain ptyalin enzyme This ptyalin enzyme is also called the salivary amylase. Okay students, now the next gland, that is gastric gland. So gastric glands are present in the wall of stomach and they secrete digestive juices. Okay, gastric glands are present in the wall of stomach. And what kind of digestive juices are secreted by these gastric glands, we will discuss it later on. Okay, the third one is, that is liver. And students, liver is the largest gland and it is lobulated reddish brown colored. Okay, so you can say that it is reddish brown colored and the largest gland. Okay students, so mainly it secretes bile juice. And bile juice is which is alkaline in nature. Okay student, and bile juice is yellowish green non-enzymatic digestive juice. It is yellowish green non-enzymatic digestive juice. Okay, the next digestive gland, that is pancreas. Okay students, so pancreas is yellow colored gland which secretes pancreatic juice. It is yellow colored gland pancreatic juice. Okay, now intestinal glands. So as the name of these glands is intestinal glands, so you can also say that these glands lie in the wall of small intestine. These glands lie in the wall of small intestine. Okay, students, now we will discuss that how do the digestive glands help to complete the process of nutrition. Okay, so in the previous session I have told you that there are mainly 5 steps that are involved in the process of nutrition. Okay, students, so with those steps we will know that how the digestive glands and the juices which are secreted by them, they help with the process of nutrition. So the first process is, that is ingestion. So ingestion includes the intaking of food. Okay, and as you know that human beings are holozoic, so ingestion involves carrying the food to the mouth with the help of hand. It involves carrying the food to the mouth with the help of hands. The next process, that is digestion, and digestion is the process of breaking down of complex food molecules into the simpler ones, that is known as the digestion. And in human beings the digestion starts in the buccal cavity. Okay, digestion starts in the buccal cavity. So what happens in buccal cavity? So as we know that 3 pairs of salivary glands are there. So in buccal cavity the food is chewed with premolars and molars. The food is chewed with the help of premolars and molars, which increase the rate of action of salivary amylase, which increase the rate of action of salivary amylase. Okay, students, and here the food is mixed with saliva, and salivary amylase converts starch into sugar. Okay, salivary amylase converts, so you can see that starch is converted to, with the help of salivary amylase, starch is converted to maltose plus isomaltose. These are the types of sugar. Okay, and the next one is, so students, remember that no digestion of proteins and fats occurs in the buccal cavity. Only the digestion of carbohydrates starts here. Okay, no digestion of proteins and fats, ठीक है student, occurs in the buccal cavity. Okay, so what happens in stomach? Now we will study about that. So in stomach the food is mixed with the gastric juices, which contain in stomach. As you know that after the buccal cavity the food goes down to the esophagus, and from there the food goes to the stomach. So in stomach the food is mixed with gastric juices, that is secreted by the gastric glands. In stomach the food is mixed with gastric juices. So what is contained in the gastric juices? There is mucus, which contain mucus, HCl acid. Okay students, mucus, HCl acid, pepsin, renin and lipase. Pepsin, renin and lipase. So let's know about the functions of mucus, HCl acid, pepsin, renin and lipase. So firstly we will know about the mucus. So students, mucus lubricates the food and protects the inner lining of stomach from the action of acid. It lubricates the food and protects the inner lining of stomach from the action of acid. Next is HCl acid. So what are the functions of HCl acid? So this HCl acid stops the action of saliva in the stomach. Stops the action of saliva in the stomach. It kills the bacteria that are present in the food. Kills the bacteria present in the food. It also activates pepsin and provides acidic medium for proper functioning of pepsin enzyme. It activates pepsin and provides acidic medium for proper functioning of pepsin enzyme. So what is the function of pepsin? Number 1 is mucus, number 2 is HCl acid. Third one is pepsin. So we are saying that HCl acid provides the medium to pepsin enzyme for its proper function. So what is the function of pepsin? It hydrolyzes proteins into proteoses and peptones. Okay, so you can say that pepsin hydrolyzes proteins into proteoses and peptones. Proteoses plus peptones. Okay, so this is the function of pepsin. Now next one, that is renin. So students, renin is used for the curdling of milk, which means curdling of milk is done by renin. Curdling of milk is done by renin, which increases the period of action of pepsin, which increases the period of action of pepsin on milk proteins, of action of pepsin on milk proteins. So this is the function of renin. The next one, that is lipase. What is the function of lipase? So students, this enzyme converts fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Lipase enzyme converts fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Okay, and which also students, so this is the function of lipase. So this is up to today's part, and tomorrow we will continue with the same topic. Thank you so much.